Hey everybody, Karen from Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing well today. So as you can see, I have rearranged my living room, actually both rooms this weekend. So anybody else feeling like they needed to rearrange for some reason? I just really did. I could not help myself. Anyways, I'm loving it so much. So, we are going to be looking at your questions. We're going to ask the lead team your questions regarding Ceuta and what happened in Ceuta, Spain, where the migration, that huge group of young men, just young men, no backpacks, nothing, just young men, no families, no children, no women, just all these young men, which was very odd. So we did a poll, and if you are subscribed to the channel, you will be able to get notifications when the polls come out. I thought, although I've heard some people say they're not getting notified when the polls come out. So can you let us know if you are getting notified? That will help other people know that maybe there's something on their phone they need to fix, okay? Okay, so this one actually ended up being, oh no, the next one. This was not, this poll, we had 509 people. The one I'm doing for tomorrow night, which is, are you feeling this need to get prepared for some, for what's coming up in the future? That had like 900 votes. So good job, you guys. But we'll do that tomorrow night. So this one had 509. So the question was the flood of 70,000 Moroccans into Ceuta, Spain, a manufactured crisis? So I wanted to see what the community thought and then what questions you had, okay? So 509 voted. 73% of you said yes. 3% of you said no, and 23% said not sure. So nearly 3 out of 4 people believe the crisis was deliberately manufactured. Many wondered whether the migrants themselves were genuinely seeking a better life, but were manipulated through social media, misinformation, traffickers, or political actors into moving all at once. The biggest questions were about who benefited and why. Community members raised possibilities involving Morocco, the United States, Israel, human trafficking networks. Hadn't thought about that. That's interesting. Retaliation against Spain. Yes. And efforts to create fear around immigration. Yeah. Okay, we'll have to talk about that because that seemed to be quite obvious. We talked about that in the playground level of the spirit circle recently. So others questioned whether the reported numbers or even some of the images and video accurately represented what happened. Totally. I mean, nowadays, I don't even know if you can make up a video that is out of just AI that would look that real. I have no idea, but I have a feeling we will be able to do that because even humans that people are using AI and have like an avatar, they're not humans. They're even looking more human. They're getting less twitchity and all that kind of stuff. Like you really have to look carefully. You're like, is this AI? The only way you can tell AI now is, well, no, that's not the only way. One of the ways I can tell, and I actually, because I did this for a while, so I know how AI wants me to speak. And everybody sounds exactly the same. Like the way their outline is formatted, it's very similar. And I'm like, okay, you're just reading, which is fine. I do read a script for this kind of thing because AI does combine all of your comments for me. Otherwise, we had 200. No, how many comments did we have on this one? I'm getting this one and my one for tomorrow mixed up because I planned both of them at the same time. This one, I guess it doesn't really matter. You guys don't really care how many comments we had, but it was, probably let's just say 100 comments. Okay. So anyway, so that, that's worth using AI for, but they all sound, AI just makes everything sound exactly the same nowadays. And I can tell when people are just reading off of it now. So, okay. How about you? Can you guys tell that? All right. We've got our prayer we're going to say. And then I have got 21 questions. 21 questions that were, again, that's what AI does nicely, is can take out repeats or, and then put them in a good order, that sort of thing. Okay, well, let's find out about this weird mass migration that just all of a sudden they just were all there. 70,000 of them. And it's sad because I don't know. I heard an estimate of 52 people died. Then I heard 37. So I'm not sure which is correct or if they have an accurate number at this point. Okay, I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, the lead team collective, and only those of the highest and purest light. And ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel, your channel, the lead team collective, and our community, so it is all of the highest and purest light. Amen. Hey, lead team. How's it going today? Awesome. Okay, so we have got questions for you regarding the migration that took place in Ceuta, Spain. Ceuta, Spain. So, do you have answers for us, lead team? Yes? Okay. Okay. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you so much for partnering with us. Very, very much appreciated. All right. Question number 1. Was the mass movement of Moroccans into Ceuta, Spain, deliberately manufactured rather than a spontaneous migration event? Yes. I'm just going to flip it and say, was the mass movement into Ceuta, was it a spontaneous migration event? No. Okay, so did I tell you what they said the first time? So yes to the first one, no to the second. Were the people who crossed into Ceuta genuinely seeking a better life, even if the circumstances surrounding the migration were manipulated? No. Were they paid? Ah, okay, yes. So did they have every intention in going back home, basically? Yes. So did they go back home? Are people staying there? Are some people staying there? No. So I'm sure some people have stayed, but no, the intention is not for them to stay. Wow. No. Interesting. Which is why it is so, it's so interesting how once you do start paying attention, or once you start asking questions, right? Then even if it's not to your spirit guides or the lead team or whatever, when you just start questioning things, it's actually it's a good exercise that we just question everything. And it doesn't have to be in a negative way. It's just questioning, what am I seeing right now? Because what I'm seeing is this mass group of people, all the same age, all male. It didn't make any sense. It just didn't make any sense, right? At least to what we would normally see, like an immigration or a it just didn't, I don't know, so then that should make you question things, right? Okay, did social media misinformation play a major role in convincing, they're already saying no, in convincing people to make the crossing? No. Okay, so it was completely orchestrated? Yes. Okay. Real nice, considering, a pretty large group of people, lost their lives, I think, by drowning. Where did most of them die by drowning? Yes. It's awful. Okay. Yeah, because I don't think they were in those boats with life jackets on. So, and they were hanging off of them and what have you. Did human trafficking networks deliberately spread false information to create demand for their smuggling services? No, no. Okay. So this was a group of people who were paid. That did they use social media though to spread the word? Yes. So shouldn't we be able to track that then? I mean, that's a lot of people. There's no way. How would they have kept that? I mean, there's unless they completely got rid of it. Oh, I thought I saw Lucy back there. I'm like, what's happening? Unless they completely, I don't know how they could have washed that. Okay. Did the Moroccan government know about or participate in organizing the mass crossing? Yes. Now, do you guys realize, I don't know if you heard, but did the Moroccan government around the same time rename a highway after Donald Trump? Yes. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Like, they really are not very good at this. They're thank goodness. I'm actually glad they're not very good at it because they have been uh, CIA, FBI, Mossad, whoever. They have been way better at it in the past because so many of us like didn't realize they were doing what they were doing. They were very good at hiding it. They're not that good now. They're just not that good at hiding it. Why would you name, I mean, why would you have that? Maybe they could have like said in 6 months from now, would you name a highway after me if I do this for you? Okay, maybe it didn't have anything to do with it, but the timing was very suspicious. You know what I mean? And then the timing with Spain winning when we already did the FIFA with them not wanting Spain to win and they weren't supposed to win. I mean, the whole thing is just like they're just not very good at it. And again, I'm glad that they're not very good at it. It's almost stupid. That's how bad it is. Their planning. It's getting and again, just sending all these young men the same age, just sending yeah, because they're the ones who could, they're strong enough, I mean they were easy to reach on social media. Sorry. It's just unbelievable. What the hell? I mean, seriously, it is a what the hell. Okay, but I didn't ask the lead team. This was the first time I've been asking them too, so I didn't ask. So that's helpful to know. Were the United States Was the United States involved in helping create or encourage this crisis? Yes. Did Trump help? Okay, did Morocco want it to be done for some reason for themselves? Oh, no. So the United States used Morocco? So Morocco got paid, I'm assuming, because this is how we have so much money in this country. That's just how we should spend it. We have so much money. Sorry, I'm being kind of sassy today. Let's see. So the Morocco government. Okay, so the Moroccan government they didn't plan it, they just participated. Yes, okay. Then why would they name a highway after Trump? If Trump didn't give them some. Was that part of like, we'll give you a certain amount. It had to probably give them money. They probably gave them money. And then Trump just added in there, like, we want you to name a highway after me. Because the guy has to have his name like on everything. Yes. It's just weird. It's just weird. Let me know if you guys know any other reason why they named that highway after him. Was Israel involved in helping create or encourage this crisis? Yes, but we are the same country, right? I mean, are we the same country, basically, the US and Israel at this point? Yes. So, you know, was the crisis intended, at least in part, as retaliation against Spain for its positions on Gaza? Yes. For its position on Iran? No. For its position on Lebanon? Yes. For its position, I'm assuming, against Israel? Or, I mean, I think they just don't appreciate uh, genocide? Yeah. Like, most people shouldn't, right? Yes. Okay. Okay. Um, did it have anything to do with Spain winning FIFA, winning the soccer tournament? Yes. Okay. So it had something to do with that too. Yeah, because they're just not participating. You know, it's amazing. I love that. I love that for us. I love that for us that there is this country that's not participating in the shenanigans. You know, I'm not saying they're perfect, probably not. But they are trying to put their foot down, it seems like. Yes, the lead team is saying yes. Okay. Was creating greater fear or hostility towards immigrants and Muslims one of the intended outcomes? And again, this is all entertainment purposes only. And allegedly, yes. And that's another thing. That's another thing. Right, shortly after that happened, Trump decided to say that, well, if the Democrats win at midterms, the same thing's going to happen in the United States, but worse. So, so a little threat. So it gave them the opportunity to say, look what's going to happen here. Okay, you know. So, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's cray cray. Alrighty, let's see. Were terrorist operatives or weapons deliberately moved into Ceuta during the crisis? Good question. Oh, really? Yes, I kind of expected them to say no because I was thinking it was for other reasons, but yes. Oh, so they used it as a cover up also? So there was multiple things going on. Ah, interesting. Because isn't it true, you guys? I mean, the lead team will tell us, but that Spain is also refusing the United States to use their airspace with the Iran situation. Yes. And does that, okay, so they are looking for other ways. The thing is that, I mean, it is Spain, but it's not really Spain. I mean, it's not next to the mainland, let's say. It's actually attached to Morocco. So, were migrants paid or otherwise deliberately recruited to participate? Yes. Was the reported number of approximately 70,000 migrants substantially accurate? Was that accurate, you guys? 70,000? No. Was it less than 70,000? Yes. Okay. Was it less than 50,000? Yes. Was it less than 30,000? Yes. Okay, so it was a lot less, but they made it look like it was, yes. Okay. Okay, so it wasn't, I mean, it was still a lot of people, but, you know, I mean, 10,000 people going in looked like a lot on camera. Yes. Okay. Were any photographs or videos altered or AI generated to make the situation appear worse than it actually was? Yes, but does anyone here live there? Or know anybody who lives there who can fill us in on that? Okay, so let's see. I've got two questions. A little context around these two questions. So a community member suggested making this a testable prediction. Evidence would mean authenticated official communications, orders, financial records, or credible testimony supported by documents. Recording the LTC's answers now would allow the community to compare them with independent, verifiable evidence later. You don't trust the LTC? Just kidding. That's great, but I'm not tracking it, so feel free to track it. I will ask these questions for you, though, for sure. It's funny because I have learned, and that's okay for people who need like black and white and to know. But I have learned so much in terms of like timelines and how stuff shifts. But I mean, this already happened, so there should be some verifiable information. And I've also learned, which there may be people who don't appreciate that, but I've also learned that they give us the information that we need when they give it to us. So that's my feeling about it. And I'm actually totally okay with that because I'm not going to doubt them. I'm not going to not trust. It's like the divine timing thing. It's like, you know what, this is what your community needs to hear right now to where they're at. Okay. Now, I could be wrong about that. It's just my sense. And I'm not trying to make excuses for them not being right either. Because it's weird because, like, watch this, What's weird about that is when you do verifiable stuff, like, okay, so lead team, are the chairs behind, is the chair behind me red? No. Is the wall behind me purple? No. Is the wall behind me white? Yes. Is the chair behind me gray? Yes. Does the fireplace have black and white checkered tile? No. Does the fireplace have is it stone marble? Marble stone? Yes. I mean, it's like they'll verify shit like that all the time. But then they sometimes don't. Then sometimes we get an answer so it's really interesting. I find that fascinating. So, because I used to do verification like that when we first started, just so people would feel comfortable, Okay, let's see. So will verifiable documentation or electric evidence emerge by December 31st, 2027? Well, we'll have to wait a year. Are you going to keep the track of this for a year? Okay, they're saying yes. Showing that identifiable Moroccan government officials deliberately ordered or coordinated the mass crossing. Well, first, okay, did Moroccan government officials deliberately order or coordinate the mass crossing into Ceuta? Yes. Okay. So will documented or electronic evidence emerge showing identifiable Moroccan government officials? Will that emerge? Let me just find out and make sure it will. Okay, they're saying no. So it won't be the identifiable Moroccan government officials will never emerge in documents or electronic evidence? No. Okay. So I'm just asking your question exactly the way it is. All right. If such evidence emerges, will it be authenticated? Okay. So they did say evidence will emerge. So evidence will emerge by December 31st, 2027. That was the question. Yes, but the part that you specifically asked is not what will emerge. So I don't know how to help verify that. So you can ask verifiable in other episodes. I probably want to do another episode on this particular topic, but if you want to keep asking verifiable questions, that might be fun actually. If I have somebody here who wants to do some research on this, that'd be amazing. I mean, you could go back to other episodes actually and print transcripts and stuff, and you could probably do that, because that would be actually kind of cool to see like what percentage of the time do they actually give us what we consider accurate information, you know. I still would utilize them to have this conversation, because that's really what it's about for me, is just growth and conversation and new perspective. But it would be kind of interesting to see, you know. Okay, so let's see, next section. Will those responsible for deliberately exploiting or misleading the migrants eventually face legal consequences? No. Well, let me break this down. So, were the migrants, would you consider them to have been exploited? No. Were they misled? No. Okay, so but the fact that they created this, what manufactured crisis, essentially, the governments, will they ever face legal consequences for doing so? No. So if that happens, then that would be some evidence, like if they end up doing some kind of legal consequence, then that could be some evidence for the, a check against the LTC. Sorry, LTC, but again, timelines, this whole thing with timelines, like I get that now. Some of you might be just hearing about timelines for the first time. When I learned about timelines for the first time, I was like, what the hell are we talking about? I had no idea. But the more and more I read on it, the more and more questions we ask, the more I'm understanding it from just like a big picture perspective. Like I'm not even sure I could put it into words if I had to explain it. I mean, I probably could. I'm not going to do it right now just because it's not what we're talking about. But I just kind of get it. Like I don't even know how to explain it, but I just kind of get it. Okay. Is humanity ultimately moving toward a future where national borders become significantly less important? Cool. Yes. And a lot of people would have a problem with that right now because, like, how do we keep, that it's hard to envision how to do that. And they're saying, yeah, a lot of people would have a problem with that, because there's this fear around this one world order. I've heard, a lot of people talking about this one world order, but that kind of makes, and I get that because I don't think in our current state people can understand how that could happen. But if we talk, they keep just saying yes. If we talk the golden future, why, and if we're in the fifth dimension and there wouldn't be any reason for borders and all that kind of stuff. So they just keep agreeing to yes. Okay. So it is hard, though, to see. I can understand how people feel about that one world order thing, and, we'll have to see how that plays out. There was two parts to that question. Will humanity ultimately move towards a future with national borders disappear altogether? So the first part was, okay, so they said no, not to disappear altogether, but becomes significantly less important? Yes. Okay. Was this event, despite the suffering involved, part of a larger movement towards the future? Yes. Just in terms of more disclosure. Again, it's just the example. Yes. How about just like, it's the example of us questioning, like, things they're trying just isn't working, because I don't know, it's turned into a comedy show, even though obviously there are some people who are hurt and, but okay, they probably had to sign, they did it at their own risk, I guess, but maybe they didn't. I have a feeling they didn't have any idea that they were going to be trucked around in like a garbage truck. Okay, when in the United States, I don't know if this still happens, but in the United States, at least in 1987, when I was a senior in high school, and it was years before and years after the high school I went to, there was always a senior prank. Okay, so the senior class pulled something together and did a prank. Our prank was to show up in in a truck. We had somebody rented. This is the dumbest thing I have ever heard of. This is why I'm so surprised any teenager lives past teenage years. I'm serious. So somebody rented a moving van. Okay. One of my classmates rented a moving van. We all got in the back of the moving van. Almost the entire class. In a vehicle in the back of a moving van. Then they closed the doors. Now, there's nothing to hold on to. Nobody thought this through. Okay. But we all were wearing red, white and black striped, like we were breaking out of jail, basically. White and black striped shirts. I forgot all about this. We all come, okay. I thought I was going to die in the back of this moving van. It was like, I mean, thank God the driver, I don't even know who was driving. I would have rather been in the front seat. Can you imagine the liability on that? Oh my God. Like, okay, first of all, we were 18. So how did this person how did this person get to rent a moving van? Probably because their parents signed for it. Can you imagine if one of us, we could have easily gotten hurt in the back of that thing. Anyway, so why did I start talking about this? Oh yeah, because that reminded me did you guys see the part of this migration event that when they first got off, there was like a government official and he was standing there like in front of this garbage truck and they were all piling out. That's what it reminded me of. I was like, oh yeah, I've done that before. It's not a good situation. So they probably signed up, got a little paid for it. They probably had no idea what they were going to experience, in terms of like, you're not going to have safety vest on or a floating device or anything like that. I mean, the fact that when they jumped out of that thing like that, I thought, no, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody got killed even during that part of it, not just drowning. So no, did anybody get killed during that trucking part of it, lead team? Oh, they did. Yes. Okay. Oh boy. All right. Really wide swing on that, actually. Let's see. Does deliberately creating immigration fear primarily serve to keep people divided and easier to control? Great question. Yes. Yes. Yep, we got to stop with the division, guys. No more. Will the people who were sent back to Morocco experience greater hardship because of what happened? No. Well, they probably just went right back to work. That was just a weekend, a little trip. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but okay. Could the anger and disappointment created by their return contribute to future unrest? No. Okay, well, that's good. So no. Okay, you guys, this was 3333. It was a good time to just end that. That's when I just said, okay, you guys. So have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow night. We are doing, like I said, this one was quite popular. We're doing preparing for what's ahead. And there was 903 votes on this. So that was our biggest poll yet. So every morning, I'm going to be putting polls out. So watch for them. I'm having so much fun with these polls, mostly because it's really interesting to see where the community stands. And then you don't even have to wait for an episode like this to see what people are saying. You could go in and we can learn from each other just from the polls themselves. So very cool. I don't know what made me think of doing that. But once I started, I was like, okay, let's keep doing this. So, all right, you guys, I'll see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.